At a peasant's residence with the green tiled and red-walled rooms, the spacious courtyard was covered by layers and layers of accumulated snow. A large black watchdog paced at the entrance, lazily chomping a bone from a cracked bowl. It seemed that the frosty air made it feel extremely cold as it retreated into its cozy kennel. It was New Year's Eve. Colorful paintings showing an abundant harvest of all food crops were pasted at the entrance. 3 fat, huge lanterns hung from the roof. Firecracker sounds could be heard from the outside. Occupants of the residence were beaming with happiness, in harmony with the feeling of a New Year's Eve dinner. Although village delicacies were served, the 8 main dishes had been cooked meticulously with attention to detail. The meat and vegetables complemented each other. There were spicy steamed stripped bass cooked with bean sprouts, braised pork, tea-infused smoked chicken, 5 colored shredded vegetables, onion and lamb dumplings, praying for blessings shrimp, 4 happiness meatballs, and abundant wealth. A large group drank and gambled together. It was an extraordinary scene that was bustling with noise and excitement. At the same time, there was an atmosphere of bleak emptiness in the most remote residence of the peasant's courtyard. A solitary room was dimly lit by a candle, which seemed as though it would be extinguishing soon. A tall, young maid with her hair combed into a top-knot bun sat in front of the residence, carefully adding firewood to the brazier. As soon as the firewood in the brazier caught fire, a pungent, thick smoke immediately pervaded the small residence. Another maid with a petite figure ran towards the residence hurriedly as she picked a thin, shabby fan from the ground before fanning it carefully. She scolded, "Lan Shao, you should be more careful. Our lady's health has not yet recovered. What if she chokes?" Lian Shao curled her lips with an extremely angry expression, yet she still lowered her voice. "I do hope that there's not any smoke. Today I went to find Zhanglan family. I didn't even request for Fuzain, just normal coal. She has the nerve to blame the heavy usage over these past few days as the reason why there isn't any more coal left in the storage. Ha! Who is she trying to deceive? At this time of the year, how can there be no more coal in the residence? She's just taking advantage of her authority to bully us. If it wasn't for our currently sick lady and I do not dare to worry her, I must slap her twice." The fanning maid sighed again. "You should restrain yourself. Although this family bullies us, we are still living under their roof. We have to lower our heads. If you really stir up trouble, Our Lady will be the one who will suffer." Lian Shao eyed her in contempt. "Baiji, I did not realize that you are this cowardly. What is the social standing of this family, and what is the social standing of Our Lady? Regardless of what happens to Our Lady, with her status, we cannot let these low-born people continue to bully her." Baiji shook her head. "Both of us are Our Lady's maids. Of course, I want the best for her. It's just that lately there has been no news from the capital. I do not know how much longer Our Lady has to stay here. It is fine if we are here for a short amount of time, but you see, it's already been the 4th year now. Master has never sent anyone to ask about her well-being. If we still have to stay here for a longer time and you incite a dispute between them, the one who suffers in the end is Our Lady." Lian Shao stopped herself from replying. After a moment, she only spoke softly. "Then, should we just allow them to simply bully Our Lady?" Baizi only sighed softly. The house fell into silence again. Only the firewood within the fire was crackling. The 2 maids kept the fire going with the fan in their hands. No one noticed that the person on the bed had awakened. Zhang Ruan had been awake for quite some time. Naturally, the conversation between Baizi and Lan Shao reached her ears, word for word. When she opened her eyes, she was surprised to learn that she has transmigrated into her younger self from a decade ago. The experience from her past life felt like a dream from an afternoon nap. However, she knew that her hatred from being killed was not something that could be dissipated by a dream. Since God has provided her with a chance to start over, she would not hesitate in accepting and availing it properly. When she stirred on the bed 3 days ago, Baizi and Lan Xiao heaved a large breath of relief. Zhang Ruan had already been unconscious for more than 10 days. Since that day, she fell into a lake. The medical practitioner that attended to her said he was incapable of defying fate. Zanlan family even inquired about funeral rites. Who knew she would wake up again? Lian Xiao held her hand and cried her heart out, repeating that God had blessed her, while Zhang Ruan merely closed her eyes. After dying once, not only did the experiences from her past life not vanish like smoke into thin air, Zhang Ruan could remember them even more clearly. When her mother passed away 4 years ago, a wandering priest came to the manor and divined her character to be unyielding from a glance. She was said to bear bad luck for her parents, and her life was destined to be the bane of another's. At first, Jiang Quan wanted to send her to the family temple to be a nun. It was because Jiang Susu kneeled and begged for mercy that Jiang Quan changed his mind and sent her to a residence in a village instead. Because of this incident, Zhang Ruan bore a gratuitous heart for Jiang Susu. But now that she had thought about it, all of the endless bullying and humiliation that was being subjected to her were bestowed by Jiang Susu and her mother. The residence was entrusted to the care of the Zhanglan family. Zhanglan was someone who was avaricious, stingy, and extremely shrewd. Every day, she did not fail to scold and humiliate Zhang Ruan indirectly. Her husband, Shen Fu, was an alcoholic loafer and a gambling addict. They had a son and a daughter. The son, Shen Zhao, was a complete pervert. The daughter, Shen Fang, wielded sharp and unkind words. All the accessories that Zhang Ruan brought with her when she initially arrived either fell into Zhang Lan's hands or were tricked away by Shen Fang. 10 days ago, Shen Zhao touched her inappropriately by the lakeside. Zhang Ruan could not bear and jumped into the water. Shen Zhao escaped as soon as he realized that he had caused trouble. By the time Lan Xiao and Bai Zi asked someone to save Zhang Ruan, she had already lost her consciousness. As it was during the final days of the lunar year, the lake water was cold and piercing to the bone. Additionally, under Zhang Lang's harsh mistreatment over the past few years, Zhang Ruan's body had grown more and more frail. Catching a cold just made things worse in a bad situation. She immediately came down with a severe illness. Zhang Ruan remembered very clearly. Originally, she did not wake up as early as this. After she gained consciousness, she had contracted a nearly incurable illness. However, a more significant incident occurred not long after. Gossip heard from outside mentioned that she was already seducing men at such a young age, without caring about her invaluable body. She fell into the water after she took the initiative to seduce Shen Zhao and failed in her attempt. Thinking back, the act of pushing the blame onto her must have been Zhang Lan's doing. As a result of this marred reputation, when Zhang Ruan met the elders face to face in the future, the title of a Tempress befell her. Now that she has woken up earlier, the gossip has not yet spread. Until now, the thought must have not occurred to Zhang Lan, so she could actually use this chance to send her a New Year's gift. There was no future in extending her stay in this residence where they could torment her. After 4 years, she would be sent into the palace as a pawn. This was not something that she could endure. Her purpose was not to be taken advantage of without reason, and there was always a price to pay for everything a person did. Thus, she singled Chen Zhao out as the first target to meet her blade. Zhang Ruan peered outside the window. The faint sound of the firecrackers caused the house with the trio to seem even more cold. She righted herself slowly into a sitting position. Baiji heard her rising, so she stood up and went towards her quickly. "Miss, you've woken up. Do you feel discomfort anywhere?" Zhang Ruan shook her head. "What time is it now?" "It should be around 7 to 9 in the evening," Baiji answered. Lan Xiao placed her fan down. "Is Miss hungry? Let me bring some food from the kitchen." Most of the misses and madams that stayed in the residence were usually the ones who had committed crimes. Regardless, they were still masters. Unless they were being cared for in a special manner, it was unlikely that their treatment would be so disappointing that it could not even be compared to a lowly servant. One might ponder deeply about why the New Year's Eve dinner was never sent earlier. Before Zhang Ruan could reply, she heard knocks on the door. A clear voice spoke from the outside. "Miss, I've come to deliver the New Year's Eve dinner." Lian Shao was stunned. Zhang Ruan said, "Come in." The door opened with a sound. An extremely festive-looking maid entered. Carrying a food basket in her hand, she was all smiles. "Auntie Lan ordered me to bring some food over. Miss, you should eat some too." When Baiji saw that Zhang Ruan was still for a long time, she lowered her head unsurely. She watched a glimpse of emotion flash across Zhang Ruan's eyes. Then Zhang Ruan turned and raised her head with a slight smile.